Hello. What's up, everybody? Joe decided to join me. I was going to do this solo, but Joe decided he would join me for this. So we're going to just use this right here. Wait, let's bump it around there. All right. How we doing? I hope everybody really enjoyed that. You can see us, you can hear us and everything. Everything's cool. Need to adjust this. Look at that. Let's go down here. All right. Cool. All right, guys. Let's see what we got going on here with the old live stream. 5x5. Thank you, Reverend. Very good. All right, cool. What are we looking at? I'm gonna look through the chat. What did you guys think about that? Did I have it on? Oh, we got everybody in here. All right. Dale Nilsson, you were in there. He says, you guys make the trap first, then lead them into it. Make them chase you guys, then surprise. That was quite an interesting expedition we had there. We didn't really expect the light phenomenon situation. We didn't expect all of that to happen. We went in there looking for just a standard Bigfoot investigation, and then it just turned into what it turned into. So what was really cool is we were able to actually capture those lights and capture all that weird stuff that happened and actually be able to share that with you guys. There's lots of people who talk about seeing lights, seeing orbs out in the woods, and it's a story. But we were able to, with all the cameras we had going and everything we had going, to actually capture it and put it out there for people. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. It was definitely a departure from what we've been doing for these small town monster videos. So it's cool to kind of take a little deviation there. So all right, let's see here. Ray Provencio goes, Jessi, when that orb approached you and Brooke, did anything manifest itself to you both? Nothing like that. We just saw it. We saw it coming at us, and it was. I had never seen anything like that. I had seen orbs in the woods before when we're doing these investigations, but nothing to where it was that consistent or starting to move towards us. At one point, it started to do a bit of a horizontal move, but it started coming towards us, and then it kind of stopped. So nothing else manifested itself to us. We didn't hear any voices or anything like that. But I think that was pretty wild. All right. We're going to keep it very short because I'm starving. I've not eaten today.
Amy Fountain, thank you very much. Amy just threw a super chat your
Amy,
way.
very good. I will pull that up right now. Cool. We'll go down here. Rick Skinner actually was first here. Barbecue Vienna sausage fun to get Jessi through the after show. I'm starving. We're going to go get a bite to eat in a minute. Thank you, Rick. Amy Fountain, fantastic premiere team. Keep up the good work. Missed you guys. Thank you so much. This was a lot of work. This thing was a lot of work. This was a challenge when it came to editing it and getting it all put together. And but I think it came out really nice. I think what you guys saw in that premiere was a good representation of what we experienced out there, what we were seeing with our eyes out there. And I wanted to kind of just take you guys to that place and be a part of that. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it.
Yeah, some of the comments I'm seeing, I'm kind of monitoring it on my phone. And everybody is saying that they really enjoyed it. And I just missed it. Jeff Matlow had said, amazing, I'm sort of speechless. The best one yet.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Bonnie Blue says, I'm glad y'all left the high strangeness in. It's a valid part of the evidence you captured and showed it. Excellent job. What I really liked is that our interview with Dave Becerra from Expedition Bigfoot Museum, which huge thank you to him. It was our first time meeting him in person. It was our first time interviewing him, and he couldn't have been a nicer person. Like, he was just so willing to help us with this and just so open with information and just a pleasure to interview. What was crazy about the whole thing is everything that he was talking about during our interview happened with our investigation. And that really let me know that we were on the right path towards some sort of truth with this, that what he was telling us that people were experiencing and he was experiencing out there, we experienced the exact same thing. So I knew that when you've got that kind of backup and that confirmation with you, that you are on the right track. Sure.
That was probably, so I think as far as like sheer numbers go, that was the biggest premiere anything we've ever had.
Yeah.
Has been on Small Town Monsters
Yeah,
by a pretty good margin.
It topped out over 20, well, almost 2,400.
2,400 people watching live
Yeah,
at once.
so-
That might be their, I don't know. If that's not their biggest premiere this year, it's pretty damn near close. So, as far as like people that I would see in the chat, everybody seemed like they exceptionally liked it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thought. We had one person that was kind of like starting to get like a little naysaying, and then they tripped up. We figured out who it was, and STM blocked them out. But otherwise, it has been, you know, because we get that little group of people that still like to follow us around and cause problems. But they were just wildly in the minority this time.
Like a tick on a dog.
Yep.
The tick is driving the boat, though.
The tick is driving the boat. So.
Janet goes, do you think the offering of tobacco brought out the orbs? I don't know. That was the offering of tobacco was something that there's a cat in that light. I was wondering that look at this terrifying shadow behind us.
Oh, good God Almighty! All right,
it's Thomas. So we did not discuss the offering of tobacco beforehand. That was never anything that Steve brought up to us. But what a great example of someone following their instincts and just going with it. And I'm just so glad that Steve was brave enough to follow his instincts on that and just kind of go with it. What a great choice that was. I thought that was amazing. And I didn't really know that happened until they had told us over the radio and then kind of told us more about it afterwards. But seeing it when I was reviewing the footage, I was like, this is phenomenal. Like, what a phenomenal choice. And I don't know. I don't know if that affected it. I don't know. We were kind of throwing everything at it with the pheromone chip and that, and us kind of, Brooke and I kind of called out to the forest and asked whatever it was to show itself. So we tried a lot of different techniques for trying to draw in something and to get some kind of activity. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't have enough information. And that's usually the case, is you don't know the nature of the phenomenon. You don't know its habits. You don't know anything about this. All we can do is go out there, try to make contact, and then see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and get into some of these super chats here. Ray Melendrez says, loved it. Okay, at 129, what was that when Jessi and Brooke were on the ground meditating? Misty looking thing from right to left. So I saw that when I was going through the footage, and I thought at first, I was like, this is a bug. I was like, this has got to be a bug, because you saw there was all kinds of moths floating around out there. So I was like, this has to be a bug. And then I looked at it a bit closer, and I saw moths going past the camera at other instances. And this thing was transparent. During the entire time it's going across, it is transparent. So I don't know what it was. I left it in because I wanted you to see that, and I wanted you guys to kind of make your own assessment on what we had there. But it was an interesting time that it came through. It was an interesting time that it occurred. So I don't know. I don't know. As with all these things, we just don't know what these things are or what's happening or the nature of the phenomenon. So I couldn't tell you what it was, but it was definitely, it looked different from the moths that we were seeing.
Wasn't a moth. I don't know what it was, because you with it being that close, yeah, you would expect a certain level of fuzziness to it, but it was transparent. You could see through it.
Right.
So I don't know what that was. There might have been a natural explanation for it. It was not a moth, though.
Oh.
So we are left with, was it paranormal? Was it something else? We don't know. We don't know what it was. Same thing with the lights. We don't know what those were.
Yeah.
They weren't a flashlight. They weren't like a hiking headlamp. They weren't a camping lantern. They weren't anything like that, because especially that one that I zoomed in on, you can see it's just a self-contained ball of light. and it doesn't light up anything around it. That's the whole purpose of a flashlight, a headlamp, a lantern. It's to light crap up so you can see it when you're using it. I even filmed coming back when we came back to meet Jessi and Brooke. I shot some footage of them at the same distance with my camera and zoomed in on them.
Yeah.
And you can see Jessi and Brooke with the area lit up around them. It's completely different. Whatever that was just a self-contained light. I've got a really good zoom on that camera, thankfully. I was able to throw it into the low light setting and then stabilize it and then just zoom in on it. And again, if it was a flashlight, you would see a beam. You'd see a light with stuff lit up in front of it. So we don't know what it was. I have no clue what it was other than the fact that it was anomalous. I don't know. And I didn't get it on camera. I'll share this with you guys right now. Just in the moment, I wasn't able to get the GPS screen on camera. But if Steve is in the chat right now, he can back this up. But when, we had gone around the mountain from Jessi and Brooke, but we're still just trying to make sure, have we gotten turned around somehow and we're seeing them at this point? Before I was able to really kind of zoom in on it and all that. And on my GPS, I've got a Garmin 64 ST, I think it is. It's good GPS unit.
It's a good boy.
It's a good boy, but I update that thing constantly. So the files are always updated. I add in like local maps if we're going into an area. From where we were looking at down into this area, where that light was where the Cherokee had ambushed the creek.
Yeah.
That's where the battle took place. And it's where the Slaughter Creek and Slaughter Gap got its name. I guess there's a marker of some type, like at the front of it. We saw the one marker, but it's marked on the GPS for some reason. I guess just
as the ambush site.
It's marked as the ambush site. So it was within, I don't know, a couple of yards of that if it wasn't right on top of it. So right. I don't know. Is that playing anything? I don't know.
And again, we were doing this on the summer solstice, which is a liminal time of year. So I don't know. It all a lot of really cool stuff lined up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Patty G says, what didn't make it into the film that stood out to you? We got an EVP. That was the thing that really stood out to me, that did not make it into the film. So at one point, Steve, so I had my thermal and Brooke had the other thermal that we had. So Joe and Steve Steve has his mounted thermal on his helmet, but he had a FLIR, like an older FLIR that is similar to the one we had, right?
Old FLIR Scout TK.
Scout TK, yeah. So Steve pulled that out for Joe to use, and Joe is like, because we haven't used it in forever. Joe's like, so which button records? And he goes, middle button records, and he goes, so, and then he's cycling through it and goes, middle button, and then in the recording, and we have this on his sound stick audio, and we have this on his lav audio. It goes, there is a small, like, male child voice that goes, records, and it doesn't even sound like it says fully records. It just says chords. Chords, like almost like a small child will like not repeat back all the syllables of a word. Yeah. Like Paschetti for spaghetti. Do you know what I'm saying? It sounds like a small male child goes chords. Chords. Because he goes middle button and he goes chords. And it's not Steve and it's not Joe. It's right there and it's on both recordings. I'll probably share that at some point soon because it's so bananas. But here's the deal. We looked at it and we were going, it doesn't add to what we were doing here. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way too. I don't stop the film to go and review evidence in the middle of it because I don't want to take you out of the moment. I want you to be in the moment. We're not gonna, something happens and then we're gonna stop and now we're gonna have a discussion about what just happened. Oh, now I need you to get back into the moment. I want it to feel like you're there with us. So I present things, I put text on the screen, but I'm not gonna stop and play something multiple times because I don't want to take you out of the moment. I want you to, there's some things in there that I don't highlight that are going to be things that you find yourself in the film. And that's part of the fun too. All right. You guys have gone nuts here. Shirley Bourne, great adventures. Here's to the next. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you so much. $9.99. What is that? Is that pounds? That is pounds.
Pounds, yep. Shirley Bourne, thank you so much. Great adventure. Here's to the next one.
Okay, Hellbent Holler. If you enjoy the STM, subscribe and become a member. This rodeo is just starting. Yep, we've got one more film we're doing for Small Town Monsters. We'll be doing that, and then we are the chains are off. We're going crazy.
Yeah. So that EVP, we'll probably put that up. We'll probably put up we'll probably put up the footage I have of like Brooke and Jessi at a distance.
Yeah, and compare
just so
that
you can compare it
to some of the light footage.
Again, we didn't want to stop the action for it, just to kind of go, here's what's going on, guys. So yeah, I have no clue. That light was, luckily I've gotten pretty good at handling that camera over the last few years, because it's difficult with the stabilization system of that camera to get zoomed in at a distance on small objects like that.
Yeah.
But I was able to get it and stabilize it enough that, I mean, you can just see it. It's a self-contained light. It's bizarre. It's not lighting anything up around it. And
I guess
it's
we could have our names on here, not just me. I thought I was doing this solo. I had a single one on there. Yeah, and then it's also difficult, like, because he was zooming in on this light. It's also difficult to keep it stable enough to where you can keep it in frame, plus you're on the side of a mountain. I think Joe did a good job capturing that. He did a great job capturing that, and it's actually something you caught. And what's really cool is there's one moment, if you guys would go back and watch that sequence again, where Joe is zoomed in on it, and it's huge on your screen. Okay, that's because he's zoomed in on it. We're gonna explain that now too, that he's zoomed in with the camera. It's gonna be a huge ball like this on the screen, right? This thing has it almost looks like a cell in a way. It's got like a wall. I don't know. It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre, but you can tell this is round, and it's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. All right, we're gonna go on here. I'm not gonna stay on here too long. We're gonna go get a bite to eat. We're gonna get some rest and get started on the next whatever.
Have you gone through all the super chats?
I'm working on it right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and just go straight to those.
Yeah.
Walter. Thank you, Walter, for that.
Walter. We appreciate you, Walter.
Thank you so much, Walter. Walter's one of our boys. Wolfman 199. That scream was crazy. That was bizarre. We have no idea what it was. We don't even have a speculation on what it was. It sounded, I don't even know. But you can see, I wish you could stop it. You can't actually pause it, but pause it right there where that happens and look at mine and Brooke's faces. It's like we're just shocked, Pork Chop Express. Joe's criminally seductive cinematographer fun. Great job, y'all. Thank you very much, Pork Chop. You rock. You rock, sir. All right. Ada Cox. Fantastic documentary. You two. I loved this. Thank you. It was a risk to do this one because when we've talked about this a lot lately on our show, I've talked about this a lot on our members show. There is a lot of pushback between this separation of factions when it comes to Bigfoot, the scientific flesh and blood, blah, 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 and then the woo thing. I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think this is something that is all together in one because no side knows all about what the nature of this phenomena is. Despite the delusion that runs rampant, we don't know. We don't know anything about this at all.
And the delusion runs rampant is a very accurate description of some of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was just, we're out there looking. We don't know what the hell it is. Right. You know what I'm saying? And people without any sort of evidence to back it up will just throw you these full-blown narratives. And in my mind, it kind of unnecessarily kills the mystery.
Yeah.
I mean, the mystery will be answered when we actually answer it. When we actually are able to go, here's the answer. But guess what?
Just like we said at the end, we don't know. We might, David Bacara, that's why I put David's, his bit at the end there. It's like, maybe we'll never know. We want to figure it out. Maybe we'll never know. But that's okay. I'm going to keep looking. We're going to keep looking. But we don't know. None of us know at this point. And that mystery, it's okay that we have that mystery in the world. I think that's okay. You don't have to try to rationalize and take these crazy turns, these mental gymnastics to try to rationalize what's happening. That's not our place for sure. We're not trying to do that. We're approaching this like photojournalists, and we go out there and we try to just capture what is occurring out there, and that's it. That's as far as we can go. We don't have any special connections or special powers. We don't have any hidden knowledge about the nature of these things. We don't. And I don't think we ever will. I think David Becerra is right. I don't think we ever will know.
Pyromedic, it's towards the bottom, you might see it, but he goes, was that one of the haters trying to say the lights were swamp gas? We know that Joe loves that. That was the guy that was trying to tell you that dogs could see electrical impulses under your skin to tell you whether they were afraid or not.
That's why we don't have dogs. We don't want to see our electrical
But I'm just, and listen, here's the deal. We got to deal with that as a community. We've got to deal with
the internet.
We've got to deal with just people just spouting like nonsense as fact and just throwing out all of this stuff that, that a simple Google search can disprove at that point. I don't know what it was. It wasn't the will-o-wisp foxfire type thing is usually a very faint glow that sometimes you will see over like rotting material, usually in a marshy environment. And sometimes you can't even see it when you look dead onto it. You got to look it up. You got to look directly beside it.
Right.
And your peripheral vision, which is a little bit more sensitive to light, will be able to pick it up. You definitely can't pick it up on cameras. Okay. Whatever that was bright and self-contained. A white light, well, a couple of white lights technically, and then that orange ball. You know what I'm saying?
You know why you didn't catch it on camera?
What's that?
You're just too loud.
I'm just too loud. That's my other favorite thing too.
Wolfman 199, thank you so much for doing this, Doc. Thank you, Wolfman. You rock, my friend. And Ray Provencio, again, my man. Joe and Jessi, awesome premiere. Any part 2 in your future plans? We are going to be returning to Blood Mountain. It's not going to be a part 2. It's not going to be a sequel to this. It's going to be a continuation. This film was an introduction to Blood Mountain. This was the tip of the iceberg. We will be returning to Blood Mountain and the surrounding area many, many times on our channel and producing docs on our channel about the area, just because we absolutely love it. We have barely touched on the history and the extent of the phenomena that is occurring out there. There is so much more that David Becerra told us about that goes well beyond what we shared on this film, but we had a little bit of a time limit. That thing was an hour 45, so we couldn't put everything in there, but much more to come on that, much more to come from Blood Mountain. We are not done with it. This was just our Hellbent introduction to it.
And you will hopefully see David Becerra giving his input into future videos as well.
Yes.
I can't say enough nice things about him.
I can't either. And I didn't know what to expect. You meet people who have been in this field and who have like higher positions in this field sometimes, and you don't know how you're going to deal with how they're going to greet you, how they're going to approach you, because Joe and I can be a little different and unorthodox in our means and how we approach things, and we're a little unapologetic in how we do that. We met David Becerra and we found solace and support in his views. He's right along the line of what we do. He is an insanely genuine and kind person and genuinely interested in the subject, passionate about the subject. And having more people like that involved in the subject, I think, is great. There's a lot of forward-facing people that don't even believe in Bigfoot. And I think that that's kind of changing. And I think minds are opening to this subject. And I think that the sky is the limit on what we can do when people with open minds start working together. And I see that as the future of what we're doing. H. Smith, post-premiere food fund. Joe might take me to the Olive Garden with all of this.
Yes, indeed.
You guys, so. I get treated to the Olive Garden. So yeah, thank you so much, H. Smith. I had a Hershey bar during the premiere.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Laurel. The thermal footage was awesome. Very cool, Doc. Thank you so much. We had a great time doing it. Now, working with Brooke and Steve was a treat. They did a phenomenal job. I am pleased to introduce them to you guys. And I hope you guys go and follow their channels. Steve is Surviving the Strange on Rumble, and Brooke is Dark Florida on YouTube, and she's also on Spotify. She does podcasts and does videos on YouTube. We're going to get more in depth on a lot of stuff on Tuesday's show. Unless we quit doing this whole thing between now and Tuesday.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We're going to get more in depth on that. I'm going to do a members show tomorrow out at the regular time. So members, you'll get to have a little hangout with me, and we'll kind of get into some like weirder stuff with that. And I think we'll do a show on Tuesday for the public. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to go through some of these chats. Did you have anything else on here?
If you guys do get a chance, pop over and at least leave a comment. I'm sure you guys have already liked on the Small Town Monsters thing, but pop into the comment section, leave a comment for it. Anytime there's a premiere like this and it does exceptionally well on the premiere, it kind of goes outside of the normal Bigfoot community, and you start getting like trolls leaving comments. So I want to try to countermand that. And again, we are going to run afoul of the old man Bigfoot hunting clique who don't like the fact that there were two women, let alone one out there doing it. So if you could leave a comment, kind of have a little counterbalance to all of that for us, if you don't mind. So
yeah. JD says, how was you both feeling when seeing lights? It was excitement. I mean, it's pure excitement. When you're out there, you're doing that, you can hear it in our voice. I mean, just pure excitement. We've been out there for days and days and days. We're all exhausted. We're all excited. There's fear, excitement. There's just such a mix when you're out there doing it. And, we had the day before we had hiked, I think like 12 or 15 miles the day before. We slept a bit, and then we went back out there and did that mountain. And that mountain was probably one of the more challenging hikes that is out there. And, but you're pretty raw at that point, and you can get really genuine reactions. Once you push somebody and push yourself to the brink, you are less likely to kind of have that, that wall up anymore. And I think having that, pushing yourself to that point kind of opens you up to the phenomenon being willing to show itself to you.
And you guys will probably see, Hawk had just asked in there if we'll do more stuff with Brooke. Yeah, you'll see Brooke and Steve probably on another one with us down the road. We still don't know what we're going to do for the final STM doc. We got a couple ideas that we're kind of batting around. We were thinking about doing a sequel, but I don't know if we want to do a sequel to any of these. We might just have each of these be a standalone.
I'm not a big fan of a sequel, because then I have to try to retell the story in a different way or take a new take on a story. And I kind of want to I want all these to stand alone. This will be my last one. The one coming up will be the last one I'm doing for STM. And I don't want it to be just a follow-up. There's sort of a follow-up to me. I think something new, something fresh, a fresh perspective on something is the way that we're going to go. And I don't know if it's going to be location specific for this last one. We might experiment a little bit. We might get a little more, take a little bit more of a risk with what we do in terms of how this is going to be structured, how it's going to be set and done and everything. So we'll see. We got a lot of discussion to do on that. Joe and I are going to talk about that and kind of hammer out what we're thinking about doing. But, yeah, I think that's going to do it for most of this. I'm going to see on here. Sherry says, how long does the scent stay on the scent ship?
So
it dries
It depends.
out, right?
With that climate, no wind and everything like that. We actually put some drop recorders around, like came back and like kind of messed. It's dead within a few days completely. Yeah. But keep in mind, just because like you can't smell it anymore doesn't mean that something else there can't smell it.
Yeah. We got to start using the rest of those.
Yeah, we've just got a few left. There was a company that some people had questions about those. There was a company that it was Osmic Labs, I believe it was called, and they do like scent lures for fishermen. And I don't know how exactly they got involved in this, but they made these for some of Jeff Meldrum's, like the expedition where they got the Skookum cast. They used these scent chips, these pheromone scent chips. And basically they're human and ape, just say reproductive scents, and just leave it at that. And I always say that, yeah, they probably don't smell anything like Sasquatch, but
it's a novel scent.
You hear about, let's just be crass for a second. You hear about women who are menstruating, sometimes the smell having an effect on Sasquatch. But we got that out of the way there. There have been people who think that Sasquatch reacts to certain scents. you've now put a scent out here that it's not used to. And hopefully you're either going to piss it off, make it curious, or, entice it in the way that it's intended to entice it. But again, it's a novel scent. It's something that it doesn't smell. Predators, and again, Bigfoot, it's either a predator or an omnivore. If they smell another potential threat in their area, they're going to go check it out at least, or they're going to become territorial and chase it off. So, or you know what? Here's the deal. They might find the smell repulsive. All I know is that as that smell started to carry around that area, we started to hear stuff.
Yeah.
And there was definitely something checking us out that wasn't a deer or a bear.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's what they caught on thermal.
It's very repulsive. That smell is so bad. All right. I'm looking through the end of the chat here. Cruising on.
Bristol just said that Dr. Bamanek, who created the scent chips and the fish lore scent, just passed away last year.
Oh.
Alex Petikoff and us may have the last remaining chips. So crazy.
Deborah Farrell Queen. Joe, just to clarify, how tall are you?
I'm weird. We've already gotten a comment of people going, we don't care how tall you are. That's what I love about this too, is that unfortunately, part of the people that view these things, they don't have the ability to
nuance.
There's no nuance to them or anything like that at all.
Humor.
And just like a little bit of humor in this, God, it just makes people angry, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Can you tell we had a bit of a triggering evening with some people
so
yesterday? Yeah, we're gonna take off in a second. We're gonna get some dinner, turn our phones off. We put a lot of work into this film. I'm so glad that you guys loved it. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. We're going to relax and decompress for a minute. I'm doing a show tomorrow for members, as usual, on Monday, and then we should be doing a show Tuesday, God willing, and the creek don't rise. So unless we got anything else, I'm going to wrap it up. But thank you guys for those super chats. You guys rock.
Please pop over and leave a comment.
Please.
For it,
Oh, Alan Lassiter. There's my boy. Sherry says we use a scent chip in the last STM doc. We don't even know what we're doing for that documentary yet, so we're not sure. When we do these, we figure out what we're doing, and then we start developing plans for it. We don't really know right now. We're just kind of reeling and getting off of this one. I just finished the edit on this a couple of days ago and got it submitted, and then back to work and all that stuff. So we got to do a lot of brainstorming before we figure out exactly what we're going to be doing. But we're excited. It's going to be something different. It might be something totally different.
Yep.
You never know.
So we're going to wrap up, guys. Pop over and leave a comment if you don't mind.
Yep. Leave a comment on the video. Make sure that you share it as well if you are on any social media platforms. We would be so grateful if you would share it and get new and exciting work and theories and new approaches to the Bigfoot subject out into the world. That's the only way we are going to combat the existing paradigm, is if we all get together and fight it together. So that's what we're doing. Thank you guys for joining us for this little impromptu after show. We'll see you all next week. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your family. And I hope you enjoyed my film. Good night, guys. Have a good one. Bon voyage. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.